Hey guys, Jeff Ryan here, Labor Day, having a blast. From time to time, I'll just take my cars, I'll put them on the track, and if they need oiling or the tires sanded or something, I'll do that type of thing. And today's one of those days, and I realized, and I got this years and years and years ago, I never addressed the front bumper there. You know, it should have those two little nubs and how worn that looks. I'm going to replace that. I started thinking about it. I should probably replace the back one too, just so they look good. So I've got a chrome kit here. I know I've got one chrome kit. I don't know if I got a windshield, but we're going to go ahead and get into that in just a bit. Do have some good news on the pink Willys. I'll go over that in just a minute. I'll tell you what I found out. And I've been having a ball with the Maserati. That's going to be going up on eBay. I've got a number of things to be going up on eBay. But let's do this. Let's go ahead and dive into the Cobra, get that torn apart, and start addressing those bumpers. I was just getting ready to get the body off the chassis. And what's interesting, and I'm looking at it better now, but you see how, like, just the highlights of the screen there are silver, and then the little squares behind are black. How does that happen? I think, and I'm speculating by the way this looks, it probably had a lot of chrome wear on it, and they tried to touch it up with some type of silver, and then you know, because they don't really hit the black squares there. So I turned it around and I'm looking at the bumper, and same thing. It looks like they had playwear, but they took silver, not like the Molotov chrome that we got, you know, these days. But whenever this was done, it looks like they did try to touch it up. Now, a couple of other things is I haven't seen a AC Cobra from Aurora like this. This is painted here, and I think that may have been done by the guy whoever tried to do the touch up on the bumpers there. And then the gas cap and back here, all I think were done by the same person. I don't mind that they're there. I really don't mind that they're I actually think I kind of like it. But I just think in order to try to make it look better, that was the method that they used. And you can't, I can't blame anybody, because back when we was a kid, we had to do with, you know, with what we had. You know, we really did. I don't think I had like a small screwdriver, you know, like this one, or even the yellow one. No, I had a yellow one, but I lost it when I was a kid. But I don't think I had a small screwdriver till I was about like 13 years old. You know, it's like, how do you work on these things without a small screwdriver? So anyways, another couple interesting things. This windshield, it is the thinnest AC Cobra, and it's a little bit loose. It's the thinnest AC Cobra windshield I've ever seen. It really is. It's absolutely thin. Another interesting feature is this has the guide pin out front of the screw there, so we know that this is an earlier mold of this. You'll see it reversed too in a lot of the later molds to where the screw is up front. The guide pin up front here, you know that was an earlier pop of the mold. All right, let me do this. I'm gonna get that body off the chassis. Okay, very good. I just got the body off there, and look, the flashing is off to where they, you know how they used a hot knife and kind of melted them in years ago, and these are off too. I'm going to bet that these are going to be probably effortless to get off. And the ones that they model motoring and rather boring on eBay, they are outstanding, guys. If you haven't had any of their products, I'm trying to hold it here so you can see it, but look at the chrome work on there. Stunning, absolutely stunning. These guys just nailed it. If you need some reproduction chrome, I go to these guys all day long. They ship out right away. I think they're out of California, if I'm not mistaken. Their stuff gets to me right away. So let me do this. I have to reposition the camera here just a sec. What's too funny is by reposition the camera, I mean plug it in. I had like the battery light went red. I figured I better plug it in. So that's what I meant by repositioning it to the charger. Okay, where were we, guys? The bumpers were, they're going to slide out. If they don't have that flashing on them, I tell you what, in my opinion, they're going to slide out because they're usually melted on top. Over here, there's like a big ring around them. There's nothing there. Just for fun, let's go ahead and poke at them, see what we get. Now that I got a No, it's a little bit hard. Try the other one. Oh, got some movement. You see it? Did you see it right there? That moved a little bit. Very good. I'm going to push a little bit harder on this. Okay, good. Oh, popped out. Look at that. Popped out. Popped out. All right, fantastic. Got that bugger out. See, that just looks like they went over it with some silver or something. I get, hey, let's try to make it look real good, but man, we can do better. We can do better. Now, if that one popped out, I'm willing to bet this back one, let's see if I can just wiggle it out. Well, I don't want to break the nub. If I want to re-chrome this thing, I want it to come out good. There's nothing there. Yeah, it's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. Just a little bit more. That right side's up. Come on. Boy, I don't want to break this thing. You know what? Get underneath. There you go. It's out. It's out. Fantastic. Okay. I'm not going to throw either of those away. I know the back one for sure. I can strip the chrome off and get it re-chromed with the Molotov. I know I've said a lot of times, guys, but this is what I use. It's the, pardon me, the Molotov chrome, liquid chrome paint. It looks like chrome when we're done. You can spray it, you can paint it, you can dab it on. They give you these pens. Here's a smaller one. This is like a 1mm pen. And if you need to do some fine detail touch-up on your chrome, that's the one I use. I think they come in 1mm, 2, 4, etc. But the Molotov, absolutely wonderful. Okay, so we have got the old bumpers off, and that was very, very easy. When you got to get the flashing off, and then get the bumpers out, what I normally do is I just take the X-Acto knife and I scrape off the any of the excess flashing, and then that allows the bumper to come out. So all the time before I put any glue on those nubs, I have got to dry fit. I've got to dry fit. Now, one thing I just noticed on here, you see there's a, trying to get my fingers out of the way, there's a burr. There's a burr right there. I'm going to take that down. Let me put this in front of me, just a sec. Just took the X-Acto and I got the burr off. I might hit that little spot with the Molotov. But what I want to do first is just kind of dry fit it. I always want to do that again before I put any glue on it. And let's see how we do, guys. And, oh my God, look at that. Wow. Wow. That looks good. That looks good. Let me get that bugger out of there. Wow, that's good. And the back here, let's go for the back. See how, see it, oops. Helps if we can actually put it in, you know what? Let's see. Okay, there is a upside down and right side up to this thing, guys. And now let me tell you, look at that. It looks like the holes line up, but I'm not gonna push them down. I'm going to widen those holes a little bit. I got a rat tail over here. I'm going to widen those holes so they slide down on those pegs a little bit better. Let me get that bumper out of there. The rat tail I have, it's like a triangle, and it's very, very pointy at the one end there. And a lot of times, if you need to like widen a hole or something, this will do it real good. Now, I tell you what, the any repro parts, not just from Rather Boring, you can do Road Race Replica. Anybody that has the repro parts, if you're putting them on your slot cars, it's okay if you have to make a little bit of a modification in the part a little bit. That's fine. These guys are doing their best to recreate something that's 60 years old, 60-year-old plus. And if you have to do a little bit of modification to get them to fit, that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. So right now, I've bored out those holes a little bit. Let's go ahead and recheck it, see if it fits in there a little bit better. Okay, now the one closest to us, yes. The one furthest away, not so much, so I could do that a little bit more. Let me go ahead and get this in front of me, be a little bit easier for me, and get that bugger to fit in there real good. Just got done boring both the holes out a little bit. See what we get, see what we get. Oh boy, I'm liking that already. That went in place, and it's snug. And it's snug. Let me push it in there a little bit more. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. That's what you want. Look at that. Look at that. So again, guys, if you're going to modify the part a little bit to fit the body, that's fine. That's fine. Let me do this. I'm going to take both the front and the back, and I'm going to use a little bit of glue. I know I've said this before, but I use a Scotch maximum strength adhesive. Use just a tiny, 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 tiny little bit. It'll hold them in place. If you ever have to get them out again, you can work with it. I tell you what, it's amazing what can happen in between takes here. My son and my granddaughter were here for about an hour plus. Loved them to death, absolutely fun. Getting ready to come back in the garage, and Bristol, our younger dog, she decided that it was time to break a plate that my wife was using for a celery carrot stick type of snack, and then now there's a glass plate broke all over the place. We just had to clean it up. Unbelievable. You turn the camera off for a second and see what happens. See what happens. All right, guys, where were we? I was dry fitting these. Yes, I was dry fitting these. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. The front one, yes, I did not glue it. Amazing. Absolutely wonderful work. Again, rather boring on eBay, model motoring. These guys have done such a good job on reproducing parts that we need. Wow, look at that. Look at that. That is wonderful. Okay, they are dry fitted. Again, I've got the glue here. Let me go ahead and glue them up. Boy, it's amazing what can happen. All of a sudden, drop of a dime. Now I'm back here filming a video, having a ball. All right, let me get these glued in. And you know what? You know, just for fun, I got the bumpers right where I want them. It's time to just address the chassis. If you got it off the body there, just go ahead and oil it up. You know what? Just go ahead and oil it up. I just got the chassis oiled up, and I touched it to the transformer just a second ago. It sounds smooth. Time to put the body on the chassis, guys. Got to get it on the track. One quick note, you see the two different size screws. I use the back one there. It's an 1/8 inch, the back one, and the right one. And the left one is a 1/4 inch, and that's what they normally use from their standard T-jet screws. As far as the 1/4 inch, the 1/8 inch and the 1/4 inch, if you guys need to replenish your supplies, I get mine from Walther's, and you can see the difference there. A couple of them right up front there. One of them's bigger and longer or shorter than the other one. I got the 1/8 inch, I got the 1/4 inch. I'll put some links in the description there, but I get them from Walther's, and the absolute wonderful. It's the closest thing that I've ever found to duplicate the Aurora original screw. And the reason I use the 1/8 inch one is a lot of times on the back screw post, if they're shorter sometimes, I like using a smaller screw. I never want to crack the threads. Yes, if we crack the screw post, can we fix it? Yes, we can fix it. Do I want to fix it? No, I don't want to do that. So a lot of times I use the 1/8 inch, or not one. It's not 1/8. I'm sorry, not 1/8. It's 3/16. It's 3/16. The smaller one is 3/16. I misspoke. It's 3/16. The bigger one is 1/4 inch, and those are the ones that Walther's made. Again, I will have the link in the description below there. But let's go ahead and get the body back on the chassis. Fantastic. Just got the body on the chassis there. Let's give it a shot. See what we get here. Try to get that inside plane. And I am looking particularly at the bumpers. Yeah, they're so hard to see when the car is going, though. You know what? They're just totally hard to see. Let's go ahead and stop it. Yeah, like in the front, digging it, digging it, digging it. Like in the back. Fantastic. Once again, rather boring on eBay, guys. They've got a lot of spare parts that we need for these things, and it just kind of completed the car for me. The old bumper and everything, both those, I'm not going to throw the front one away. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to throw the front one away. But what I am going to do is I'm going to re-chrome them both, and at least we'll have a good back one. And who knows, somebody might want the front one without the nub. Let's say they have the nub and also looking for the rest of the bumper. I don't know, but I'm not going to throw it away. Definitely not going to do that. Okay, guys, what I alluded to earlier, the pink Willys. I've done my research. Let me tell you that. I've done my research. Since even before I first got this, to this point right now, I'm not going to say hundreds, I'm going to say thousands of pictures I've seen of Willys. I've seen Auto World. I've seen Johnny Lightning. You name it, I've seen it. Guys, looking at the inside of the body, looking at the outside of the body, looking at how the way the accents were sprayed on there. This is an Aurora. This is definitely Aurora. No one's going to talk me out of it. I have been so thorough, even looking at, and I know it might be hard to see here, the lines that are in the bottom of the mold there, like right behind the scoop there, the front scoop, and the lines that are in front of the back screw post, those mold lines are consistent with all the other Willys that I have that are made by Aurora. They're not consistent with anything else that I've seen. This is like the rare pink cheetah. This is the rare pink Willys, guys. That's what this is. If anyone can convince me that this is not an Aurora Willys, do it. No one has yet. No one has yet. The mold lines, everything is consistent with what I've had and what I've seen. And again, I'm not saying hundreds. I'm saying at least 1,000 I've looked at and scrutinized. This is an Aurora, guys. This is definitely Aurora. Now, you know as well as I do, if I have this thing for any longer, I'm going to tap the screw posts. They haven't been tapped yet. Yes, they're drilled, but they don't have any threads in them. And I'm going to put a chassis on this thing. That's what I want to do with it. But I think that there's collectors out there that might want this in their collection more than I want to put a chassis on it. So if there's anybody, and if you guys know of anybody, a very powerful collector, a big collector, somebody who might want, and I'm claiming it to be an authentic Aurora pink Willys. I'm claiming that right now, guys, because I don't think anyone's going to convince me different. Not with the research that I've done on this thing. Not with the research I've done on this thing. So if somebody wants to make me a strong offer, and I'm not thinking just hundreds of dollars, if you know of a collector that might want something like this, let me know, put them in touch, because after a bit, it's going to go on eBay. I considered keeping it, but I'm going to, again, I would thread the post, and I know real collectors, real hardcore collectors, they wouldn't want it, they want it just like this. And here's one thing that I didn't share with you in the last video, because I found out in the interim here, the gentleman who sold this to me, he finally got in contact with me and he gave me the background story about it. He's had this in his collection for over, or not collection, he's had this in a box collecting dust for over 10 years. When I replied back to his instant message, I said, well, okay, I get it, but where'd you get it from? He got it from a buddy of his that was getting ready to throw this thing away. He had 5 Willys in a box and he was getting ready to throw them away. And here's the kicker, guys. Here's the kicker. He had 2, yes, I'm saying 2 pink ones. 2 pink ones. Okay, this is the one I got. When I heard 2, I had to. I immediately made him an offer. I said, hey, listen, is there any way I can, twist your arm, get the other one from you? I really love the pink. He's a slot car enthusiast. He thought that since he had 2, keeping one for himself would be fine. He's not going to let go of it. Guys, I've tried. I've tried to twist his arm a little bit. He's not going to get off of it. So what I'm saying is, if somebody wants to message me privately, this is up for auction. If no one wants it that I know of, any of my viewers, or if you can get me in touch with somebody, fine. But it will be on eBay, and it's not going to go for just a rare T-Jet. This is like holy grail kind of stuff when you're talking about the Willys here. And who doesn't love the Willys? Oh my God, the Willys to me, they look like they're ready to go. They look like they're on the line ready to leap forward, you know what? And again, the screw posts haven't been tapped. The shine on it, remarkable. The only funky thing, and I've said this from the beginning, is the back bumper. I don't know for sure what's going on with it. It just looks a little funky. I'm not worried about it. This is just one of the rarest pieces I've ever seen or even been in contact or had. So guys, let me know if you know of anybody like that is really strongly associated with the T-Jet prototypes, those things. Let me know. Get them in contact with me, guys. Again, if I keep it, I'm going to thread the post. I'm going to get a chassis for it, and it's going to be around the track. And I think a strong collector might think otherwise. So, boy, I hate to let it go, but I think a strong collector would really like this. All right, guys, that is going to end the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you need anything. My book, it's still up at Amazon. And thank you, guys. I've gotten some really good reviews. And please, if you're going to give a review or some feedback, if you do it on Amazon like you've been doing, it helps me out. It helps me out. So thank you again, guys. And if once again, if you know of anybody that has strong interest in the pink Willys, let me know. All right, guys. See ya. Have fun.